let's quickly test this. There's no belt on the back of this Dyson. I picked it up, bought it. As spares, he's said to me that he's had an engineer out, and apparently it's one of the motors causing it to trip. Of course, Dyson has 2 motors, so how are you supposed to know which one it is? Looks like it's been sat out for a while. There's no belt, that's missing. The back panel was off, but we have still got the back panel with no screws. So I'd have to get some screws and a belt before I could fully test this. That is, unless it can go on spin mode, fine. Gearbox. In and out the door work. Gearbox. Does that sound like a bra wire stuck? Now when I got it, the gearbox was actually in neither mode. It was completely jammed up because it was in between. This drum won't turn. That sounds like a bra wire stuck. Well, something's stuck anyway. Drum seats turn fine. There's no wobble on the drum, so actually the spiders should be fine. Bearings sound fine as well. Now if it's the case, then we'll get it fixed. Door has suffered with the same heat in cracks. Literally on all the white ones, unfortunately. They crack. So I'm going to quickly put this on spin and see what happens. Now it would obviously only activate one of the motors. It is still got contra-rotation on this, believe it or not. Close inner door and press start. Well guys, I don't know what those noises are. There's no belt on the back of the drum. It's not the drum. Could be the pump. And when it's making noise, it is vibrating as well. Whatever that noise is. I think it's the rotor on the pump. Might need it might need a replacement pump. Motors wise, I actually got 2 spare motors, believe it or not. So they might work. Right now, nothing's happening with the motor. There's no noise. Either it's been unplugged, and I've just not seen it, or the brushes are worn out. Because to be honest, this has had an F14 fault, and that has been remedied. It's never had an F11 fault. It's when the F14 fault occurred, it happened way after Dyson had completely gone, so the contra-rotation still exists on it. Hey! Oh, I say that, but it's got a fault F11. But that can be brushes, rather than the bridge rectifier. I like how you press cancel and it doesn't do anything, despite the F11 being related to the motor. Drawer opens fine, despite being sat out for ages. So, this might be fixable to a degree. Might need the F11 bridge doing. Right, so what I'm going to do with this Dyson is rebuild it. I'll put two motors on. I'll check the blades on the pump, make sure the pump's okay. Put the back on, put a belt on, and test it. Let's see what we'll go from there. Now let's test this Hoover H-Wash 300 Plus Hair Made, and you can tell straight away. But what is annoying with it is the quality of the buttons. We're going to come up here. It got returned because it, for some reason, one, locked up on itself, and two, the buttons stopped working. You couldn't turn it on. So, after quite literally putting some bits in the back of it, we can now get it to turn on. Turn it to cottons, and the temperature button works. But it just feels so cheap. Really cheap. Except when you get to this button, the delay button, like you're never going to use. All of a sudden it's nice. Ugh. Why is everything cheap? Ugh. And another problem is with this machine is, now it may just be temporarily, but when I actually turn the water on for this, it started immediately filling up with water, and then immediately stopped 3 seconds later. Well, unless maybe the valve was open at the time, who knows. So is that synthetics? Yes. Which goes to 1400 RPM. How about that? Weird. Then we've got delicates, of course. Then we've got wool. And we've got baby care. This really isn't any different to a standard machine. So we'll just test it out. And yes, it uses an inverter, not the direct drive. And all of a sudden you can tell straight away this is much noisier. Ooh. It's struggling to turn that valve off. Anyway, we'll let it do its thing. Right, we're on cool down mode. The valve is working. Oh, and trust me, I can now touch that. Before, I accidentally went up like that and it nearly scalded me. Now it is 90 on this. This is White Knight dry works. I got this and a Hot Point Ultima from what can only be described as more. Somebody bought a property, these were left in behind. They turned on, but not tested. Well, apparently not the dryer. The dryer was just untested. The washer was switched on, but never put water in. Right. That's running quite smooth. Anyway, had a bit of a check over. The condenser is pretty much very clear, and the filter is also clear. So this has been looked after by the previous owner before the property was sold. Oh, it's also a 7 kilo, which suggests that this is a later on addition, later on machine. The trouble is, a lot of them, most of these condenser ones are about 5 or 6 kilo. The 7 kilos are more quite rare. So if we take the condenser tank out at any points, the light will come on. And you have to restart the machine manually. Let's see if this works. I've just picked it up this morning. Owned by the same owner since brand new. But a remodel of the house means that they've got a condenser now. Let's see. Let's test this then. We'll put these towels in. Okay, so the seals are a little bit mouldy. It's not too bad. But the actual state, this is from the same house as the White Knight that I showed you 2 seconds ago. Plugged in, switched on, but not actually started any cycle. It does indeed switch on. Memory has silk 90? Huh? Must be a glitch. I'll put the water on. No. Bearings and spider look fine. This has been painted down here. It has rotted underneath the door, but that isn't from rotting from the. It isn't rust. That is basically rusted from being in contact with detergent. It's horrid. This needs a proper clean. So anyway, once we've kind of, if this works, I'm going to dig out my other Ultimas and we'll do an Ultima wash race. I'll catch up with you in about 20 minutes. Well, it's heating fine. So we'll carry on now. Let it heat, let it wash, let it rinse, spin, etc. Come back to it later. Let's take a look at this. It's another one for my collection. It says Zanussi Electronic Sensor TD530 Vented Tumble Dryer. And unlike every Zanussi normally, it vents from the... here? Wow, that is a weird Where's it from? Is this from Australia? I don't get it. It comes with a moulded, fitted 3-pin plug and everything's in English. So it can't come from Australia. Huh. But let me just show you something. This confused me. I've got to show you this. Like, this will be obviously in a proper review at some point, but the drum's down here. That's on the floor. That's the roof, just right there. The sensor is here, and the filter's in the door. That doesn't surprise me, the filter's in the door. Okay, the sensor's up here. Okay, but why is the drum ended there? In other words, that means that the motor is mounted at the top. How unusual is that? Right, okay. So, I'm going to put some washing in, and then we'll see how it runs. You see, it would make sense if it was upside down. Oh, also there's no start. That's quiet enough. about an hour. I'm not entirely sure whether it's on low heat or high heat. And there's noise. That's metal on metal somewhere. It's basically hitting the body on the side from the drum. But we're going to let this run for another hour or so, whatever, if it needs to. I'm not quite sure if it's... Oh no, wait, it's gone cool tumble. Never mind, we don't need to. Take a look in 10 minutes. Oh, the buzzer works. Filter works fine as well. Look at that. It's fine. I'll put it back in. And they are perfectly dry. But that is such a reach down just to get stuff out. Oh well. Never mind. At least it works. Right, let's take a look at this disgusting rusty heap. Not just any disgusting rusty heap. This is rare. Ultra, ultra rare. It's all thanks to the laundry centre. But he sent me the link on eBay and I just went, I'm having this straight away. And I did. Bought it and immediately went down the same day to go pick it up. This is extremely rare. This is a Hoover Vision 1600. You might go, hang on though, but this is a Hoover 6, right? Wrong. No, in fact, actually, this is the design concept for what would become the Hoover Visions of the future, i.e. about around 2005. You know, when you had the Vision 8 Kilo, and you had like the Nextras at the time. So this is the concept before that. It wasn't sold for very long and was very expensive when new. Yeah, though, so this has rust at the bottom there, and the only other known one in existence, which is Isle of Service. He has one that he bought around way over 5 years ago. And I was after it, so I was after his. And this has come up. But his also suffered with rust, so unfortunately it's one of them. Now, it is in a filthy, disgusting state. Unfortunately, the chap, well, the woman who sold it was his dad's, and he was a bit of a bike mechanic, so it's had 20 years worth of just general filth rolling down there. Right, well, let's see if it works then. Now, whatever happens, I'll keep this running. There's a... You know, it's making me think twice now about getting rid of my boring... I've got a Hoover Nextra, just a standard Hoover Nextra in there, which has this tub in it, and I'll happily swap the tub over if I have to. I'll do anything to keep this. Also, this is actually a split cabinet. Believe it or not, this is the only one with split cabinet. Hoovers before this and after this have always had sealed cabinets. Right, what we're going to do is test this out fully. So we're going to throw in some towels, a bit of Daz at first. We're going to throw in some Daz, and then I'll put citric acid through it a million bazillion cajillion times just to get rid of the dirt. It's going to get scrubbed down, it's going to get cleaned, it's probably going to get ripped apart as well, taken down piece by piece. The bearings don't sound too clever, but hey ho, if part of it is to do the bearings, we'll just swap the entire tub over. The tub looks special because it's canted backwards, but actually it's not. It will just be how it's mounted instead. The boring Hoover Nextra 1200 that I've got, I was going to fix up and sell and using the motor from the Hoover 6 and put the motor on that, but if this needs bearings, the tub's coming out of that and it's going to go in now. Right, that'll do. We'll put a couple of towels in. It does switch on, I know that. The display is very similar to the 6, but it's not. Now it's preset at 800. The previous owner had it preset at 800. The previous owner had it at Column 60 with time saver and 800 spin. So maybe that's probably why, maybe because of the bearings or whatever, that's why it's been reduced. Now what we're going to put in is where is it? There it is. Now we don't know if the heater works or anything like that, so it's just a bit of a guess. Also, I'm not 100% sure, but I have spied a Quattro jet. Two hours, 3 minutes. I'll do. Oh, the hay is also on a boil wash. It's on hygienic. I wasn't too sure whether it blew in another heater, but it just turns out that it was just terrible. It's just not taking out the washing. So it's actually, I think, a pretty decent bit of kit, really. Like, you think about this back in the day, the only thing I want is an IZ161S, ideally. The silver IZ1, IZ161. Chris did show me, the laundry centre did show me a 1200 that was nearby, but it's 1200 and I don't have a 1600. I'm just gonna let that go in. I'll leave you running just in case I know something appears like the jet. But I'm gonna go get something else. In the same house where this came from was a Eastern Burco D676. Now, I'm not going to plug it in now, but I could plug it in later on. Well, I do know it does heat fine, but I was using it and if you open the door, it just carries on running. That's a bit of a problem. More than likely because there is 44 years worth of fluff. The timer has nothing on it whatsoever. This is the timer. Yeah, it'll go back again. But there is no markings, they've all disappeared. Also, it does knock a bit, so yeah, not brilliant, but so we'll look into it. Also, there's a lot of rust at the floor. Way up. Okay, so there is another. There is some sort of another jet. It's doing it. But it's not actually pumping anything up. Quiet though, so I think there'll be a blockage. You know, 20 years of quite a lot of muck. It's gonna be a great little project actually, this. It's, yeah. Yeah, definitely a pump there of some sort. Can't pump anything through. Right, take a look at this Indice IDCE 8450BH. No, I'm not going to do any filming with it. If it does get fixed, I've already done that before. Have I done a review though? Can't really remember. Done lots of R2s on it though. Maybe just get a review if it does get fixed. However, this has developed a FO4 fault. The pump is running when it's not supposed to. Bit of an odd one. Usually it's a board fault. Moisture has got on the J5 terminal. Whatever. How do you get moisture on the J5 terminal unless it's leaking condensed air? Condensed moisture? And to be honest, that wouldn't necessarily. Basically, what it's saying is there's moisture getting in between some connections and causing a short. Anyway, it turns on. Cool. What we're going to do then, I'm going to select a low heat. Yeah, because that's heat boost, right? So, where's time? Am I right in saying you just select anything? Cotton, standard ready to wear. We'll press time. Oh, it's time delay. Wrong one. It's coming up with empty filter and empty condenser. I'll put it on low heat for now. Not really particularly bothered about going on high heat. Light run for 15 minutes, so at the end of the day this has nothing to do with the heat, so any moisture in there. Now if it runs fine for the next half an hour, what's going on? But then I'll run it endlessly until it throws the error. I'll run it probably like 20 loads at least, let the water build up, stuff like that. Let it refurb it. So far there's one problem of it's not producing any heat anyway. Oh, there we go. So whilst we're running, look, It's coming up with that, but you can't hear the pump running. Bit of an odd one. Anyway, we'll have a look. Now, first thing's off. There's something off already. It's not producing any heat. From the moment we say go, we say go. But it's taking 4 minutes for that to kick in. No, it should be getting hot straight away. Not getting hot straight away, there's a problem. Why is it not getting hot straight away? You know. We'll take a look at the heater. Now, yeah, I'm going to take a look at the heater despite the fact that this is supposed to be to do with the pump. Right, now we're going to test. We're going to just quickly test the pump and the float. So what we're going to do... Don't try this at home, by the way. So we've opened up the machine. Do not do this unless you're qualified. The pump is working fine. The float switch. Well, we've got it open. There is a couple of other issues we need to address. Yeah, there's a bearing pad absolutely gone there. Battery all gone. So the bearing pads will have to be done. That's why it's scraping. Also, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Is this. Now this is a reset pipe, like you would from here to the top. But why is it here? What does this one do? Well, follow it round and it goes to the board. In other words, moisture is being forced to the board. It's being made to be deliberately broken. Again, still no heat. The pump's working fine, so we know that. We'll leave that running for another 3 or 4 minutes. Oh no. We're on high heat. But we've still got no heat. In other words, what he doesn't want to do, this is what I can't understand. Oh, and now the pump is off. Okay. We should get an FO4 right now. Ready? There we go. So the pump then goes off. Off. Anyway, the Hoover is up to temperature. It's nice and warm. Oh, I guess we'll unplug this then. Right, we'll have a look at a bit of the switchgear inside. Put the pump bit together. It's working fine. We'll look at the heater as well. There's no thermostat, and then we'll go from there. Right, so this is slowly filling up. Oh look, the jet's now just about working. Look, it's going, it's going. It's going, it's going, it's going, it's going, it's going. Wicked! The jet does work. To a degree. We're getting there. But, biggest problem, it's not even draining anymore. You can hear the pump, it's working fine, but it's clearly blocked up. We've now got a lot of water in there. Oddly enough though, this machine will still try to spin with water in. And then immediately give up because it thinks it's suds-locking. So we've got quite a bit of a project on our hands here. I'm not sure whether the bearing's gone or not. Because it can't get fast enough. Suspension doesn't seem too bad actually. That's why I put the towels in the first place. Oh, also, we'll go back to this intersit. We've got a broken stat. Oddly enough, it's not the resettable stat like it normally goes. Normally it's that one. It's this non-resettable stat. Now, to be honest, it's still kind of loose, but unfortunately, there is an open circuit on it. So, I'm hoping that is our reason. Alright, it's not draining properly. Let's see if it actually tries to spin. I reckon it will. But I think I have to drain this and dig out the fending filth that's probably in it. Never know, it might spin. Well, it gave up an error of 3. Error number 3. So, we're going to manually drain it and then try again. Right, we'll put the Hoover on spin. We're supposed to stop. Empty the filter. The filter is at the front, though I'm pretty sure it's for just the recirc pump. Bit of annoyance. And it's also a bit of a rubbish design. It's there to design. It's designed to catch everything. You can screw it and take it out, but then there's a bit underneath that you can't get to. So everything that was backed up can't come through. when I eventually managed to get it all come through, it's just full. That's what was in the filter. And then what actually happened was I put a towel down, managed to dig everything out with the bowl. That towel is capered in crud and bits of spider. This machine needs a complete strip down and rebuild. I know exactly what I'm going to do with this. The Hoover's 6AM120 with the broken bearings. So you can change bearings on that. I'm also going to take the tub out and put it in this. The spider is quite hard to find nowadays on these. Well, it's not paying stupid amounts of money. See if this works. Hot! So it runs for 4 minutes. Well, it works. Right, let's take a look at this mistake that I bought. It's, okay, the mistake actually is the fact that I bought this in the 3 kilo version. It's not, it's a full size 7 kilo. Only good thing was that I paid very little for it. It's probably in fully working order. Kind of like, it's a very weird design, if you ask me. Where does everything go? Like, you got this here. That's not. Is that a filter? Or what? And then you got like this plastic hose. Literally. Wait till you do. I can't wait to do a review on this. If you ever see it. Oh, the filter's at the back on this. Just like an old-fashioned, you know, an old-fashioned hot point or Hoover back in the day. Even the same kind of bearing design as well at the back. Apparently he was selling it because he just wasn't using it. But if he was, it would have been taking ages to dry. Oh, it's a bit of a rubbish design. Looks like it's kind of chewed itself. Or disintegrated or what. I'm not really sure. That's actually, looking at it, that is how it's made. But it just looks rubbish. Absolute rubbish. That is packed. Surprised it ever worked. Like, it's got to the point where that at the back is almost its own filter. That can't be right. That's not its own filter. Yeah, that's just really packed in. Really? I feel like this is part of the filter. But if it is, it's rubbish. Because surely that would go on the other side of the filter. Like, this is a fine mesh filter. Has it even worked at all? Like, I'd expect this to sit yeah, because you wouldn't want to be emptying this every single time, would you? Doing this. No, it makes no sense at all. Like, why would you have that over like that and then put that over that? It'd be better that way. That would make more sense. Let's do that. Let's put that way. Let's put that in. Right, this might actually work then. He did say it works, so... right. This isn't a sensor dryer. It's just a time dryer. You just have 4 time choices and 4 temperatures, high, medium, low, which is quite odd, really. 200 minutes on high. That's over 3 hours 20 on high, medium, and then low. What temperature is low? Low could be like wool temperature. See if that works. I do like the pipe on it actually. Apparently its rated input is 1700 watts. Considering that the most is going to be somewhere between 100 and 200 watts, that means that the heater rating is 15 or 1600 watts. That's low. That's poor. Where's water coming from? Weird. At least it's all dry. Water's weird. At least it works. Now, I showed it earlier in the video. Yeah, this should be in testing 42 right now. I'm just predicting right now. But it's the Eastern Berco D676 double dryer. I did switch it on briefly when I picked up the Hoover, which is from the same house, the Hoover Vision. Both of these came from the same house. I did switch it on, so I know it works. So, of course, I showed you that earlier. So, I'll just switch it on. I think that's half an hour. Now, I was making a weird rackety sound. Can you hear that? And, to be honest, if we were to investigate, we could just open the door. Don't try this at home, this is stupid. Don't do that. I'll tell you now. This is unfortunately too dangerous to go to public. Which is unfortunately what the seller's trying to do. Sell it to the public. In fact, it's that dangerous. I still offered her money for it, and she did offer to take it. So, I didn't want to go to scrap. I think it's either way, either fix it or it goes for parts, since there is quite a fair few still hanging around. That also being said, it appears to be getting hot. Well, there you go. See what happens. We'll do a lab test right now. Oh, actually, I think there's some heat coming through. Also, the plug is smashed on top. It will need a new plug, unfortunately. We'll put a retro one on. There is retro plugs about, actually, that Luke's got. Still here. There's hundreds of them, so they'll nicely go on. But unfortunately, the dial has no numbers on it. And there's a little black icon. Presumably, when it points completely upwards, it's off. But unfortunately, it's going to go completely downwards and it'll be off. Now, is that half an hour? Is it a 2-hour timer? I'm presuming so. It also depends on how big that wattage of the heater is. There's also no high or low heat on it. I'll take it bits. Investigate the door latch. I think it's just probably filled with crud. Fluff from all the years, the 42 years of use it's had, 44 years of use of had it's had. So there we go. Does work. Leave it running. If chip's electric, I don't think it will. It's been perfectly fine. Many times does work, it is going by things. Right, let's test these two out. Now, the Bosch was thrown out at the end of my street, and I picked that up. Now, not even plugged the Bosch in. It does, well, it does actually switch on. I've not put any water through it yet. It's horrendously filthy inside. The filter didn't really have, it was kind of stuck, but when you undid it, there was about £1.50, not only in the actual, it was before the actual coin trap, and then it was sort of up in the sump as well. So £1.50 out there already. I think it may have been not draining. It wasn't, didn't have any water in it. However, where the drain hose is for this, you know, the emergency drain hose, It's actually before the sump. So if the sump itself is full, water can be drained out prior to it. Right, the shop was sold. I bought it. Apparently, it's not always finishing the spin cycle. Right. So, but the sharp, I'm going to have a look in the filter in a minute. Now, we'll just focus on the Bosch. I'm just going to put this on 90 with some water. Oh, there's another problem with the Bosch as well. It can't come all the way out. So the other problem with the Bosch is, yeah, you've got to push that down, the little flick thing that goes up. It's gone up too much, so now I can't release it. So that needs sorting. There is a patch of rust also forming on one side. Oh, I thought this is actually also a weird Bosch Max as well. This is a Bosch Max. This is actually a 7 kilo machine with the 7 kilo with the Logic's drum. Yeah, there's a bit of a, that's a bit of an odd one. So I'm going to presume that it was thrown out because. Let me just put it on rinse and spin. Hot straight away. Very new. Well, that's busy doing that. The sharp, I'm going to empty the filter first and then put in some washing. Let's put in 2 towels. I'm not supposed to drain for this long. I actually can't remember. Get around all right. Now, if it is just a filter, I'm not going to say it isn't the heater, but there's also a first for everything. But because it's from my area, really, really soft air, water. Heaters do eventually blow, but it will take sort of like 20 years used to do that. Let's just check and make sure it's not leaking. It's not leaking. There might be a leak on the door seal, maybe. I don't know. But there isn't one. I can't see one. There was no sign of it either. Stop rambling. Ooh, smell that. Oh no, sorry. This. Okay, so my dad's been taken in by accident. It'll help. Right, the Vestal washer dryer, they've created its own problem of being a washer dryer. That's a lot of fluff that's kind of come back out through the hose. Like, this is all slid out. This wasn't in this was beyond the pump and up the hose, and it's come out backwards. See? It's all firing out. That's not great. So, it won't spin if it can't drain properly or in time. Pump itself is free. It's just full of fluff. Well, if that's the case, this might work perfectly fine. Put the bottom to drain. It is draining, but it's not quick. Bear in mind, I've cleared out the filter and the pump. The pump is fine, along with all the green, grimy build-up that's already inside. I'm going to put this on a boil wash with nothing in it, like no detergent at all, and watch it. Actually, I'll put some citric acid in and do it that way. As for the sharp, I'm just going to run it on white wash with nothing in it, see what happens. The sharp's basically new. I think the sharp was a case of it wasn't draining. God, brush my over. I think the sharp will work fine. Right, we'll leave this both of you go in. Okay, so we've had a leak. Why? Oh. Eh? There's no giveaway. Well, that look leak. But I'm wondering whether it's come from the Bosch more than the Sharp, because that looks pretty recent. It's not had time to dry up, and it does dry up pretty quickly around it. Give me a second. Now, the Bosch would make sense if it does leak, because I've had the sun pop and stuff like that, so possibility. They both work fine. Aren't they? Actually, despite the state of the Bosch, now with a boil wash and a decal, these are smelling quite not bad actually. These go in clean, but if the machine itself's filthy, these come back out either with traces or just smell. But no, it's all right. But I can't tell. Now, let's have a look at the I'm not saying end, but it won't open. Alright. Yeah, it won't open. Odd. I had to take it off first, but there was a bit of a pressure release. Anyway, the Bosch, actually I'm just looking at this, I don't think this draw's right for it. I think someone should replace the drawer and not put the white one in. I think this needs the Max drawer, that's a Logic's drawer. Oh yes. They are 100% perfectly dry. The Sharp actually senses fine. Okay, but okay, I fix whatever issue it's got. I will investigate it a bit further, because obviously I've also had a leak in here, but I don't know if it's from the Bosch or from the Sharp. Because, of course, if the leak comes from when it's drying, that'd be different. It would be from the shop. The Bosch was a bit... It's like, it was fine until... If it is the Bosch, it's maybe a door seal. Don't know. Ew. Right, so what I'm going to do is we'll do a wash in the Sharp washer dryer once I've taken the door shield off. Cool. And we'll go from there, because if it starts leaking, we know we've got a problem. I don't know which one's leaking, but one of them's leaking.